Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth. My real sojourners, please stand up in this 5D. Right? I greet you all in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I'm Aquila Textry. I am Aquila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all, like this beautiful ambiance that I'm in with the rain. It's been raining all day, right? And this essence of it all, reporting to you live from 5D, from none other than 5D. As usual, bringing you the news to infuse if you so choose to. And if not, get fried on the light grid. And this one right here gonna fry some people. So, I wanna go right into it. Right, this is about the Saturn's exposure, right? Being caught up in the rapture. And I'm saying rapture now. I didn't intend on it, but as I was sitting here, setting up and hearing this ambience, I'm not gonna lie. I just started hearing the song. I started singing to myself. Caught up in the rapture of you. Nothing else could compare. Boy, I feel the magic of you. And I'm speaking to Saturn, like, ooh, I feel your magic, Saturn, caught up in this rapture, and it feels good to me. It may not feel good to everybody else, but I love exposure of truth. I love when truth is exposed, especially the ugly truth that people don't like to hear or see. I don't feel sorry for the pain that comes with it, even for myself. I have empathy, not sympathy, because I do not sympathize with that deviant behavior of concealing the truth just so that you can be comfortable in your lives. So I am happy for moments, for the season that we're in, where Saturn is in Pisces, letting all hell break loose. So this is for that Saturn exposure to the superficial spirituals. And this is what it is. And I'm going to break that down a little bit more. Also breaking down the 3 levels of the chosen few. That's why I always start with that. But to the chosen of the chosen few, you know who you are. Now you're going to hear when I break this down. Now you're going to know why I say the chosen of the chosen few. Because these times right here is about separating the sheep from the goat. For those of you who know that phrase, Saturn in Pisces is separating the sheep from the goat. Separating the superficials from the truth, the idealist from the realist, and the realist from the truest, right? There are these 3 sections that I don't usually talk about, but I probably need to do a video on this too. These are the 3 timelines. There's the 3 time realities. There's ideal time reality, real time reality, and true time reality. And when you're evolved to the highest point, you are in true time reality. Not everybody in 5D is in true time reality, right? We got some people in 5D that are still carrying their ideal time reality or their real time reality. Real time is sort of in the middle. And I'm going to parallel this to the different levels of the chosen few as when I return to that. And to let you know that real time is like in between the true. And a lot of people think real is true because it's realer than ideal. Real is not ideal, right? But you need to get real with the ideal in order to be true. So it is like the middle passage or the middle pathway, but you have not yet arrived at true time reality. And so this is what I'm seeing. You're able to see that Saturn is separating the sheep from the goat, where you can know who is who. You can know who you are, where you stand. And this is not to degrade anybody. This is not to tear anybody down, but it is to highlight the truth. How can you elevate if you don't even know where you truly are? So this is for us to know where we truly are. And when dealing with others, we know who we're really dealing with. There are a lot of people saying they're true, but they're only real, right? So Saturn in Pisces is exposing that big time. So everyone's getting caught up in the rapture. This is the rapture. This is the rapture that people have been talking about, because Saturn is checks and balances. Saturn is the Lord of Karma, and it is the Lord of Karma that is inside the house of Karma, which is Pisces, the spiritual house. So we got to really understand this component. And I say this because I actually spoke on this a year ago, last year, maybe around the same time, a little bit before this, actually around March. because I was speaking on the great cosmic shift that was happening in March of 2023, which is two things that were happening. And that was Saturn into Pisces and Pluto into Aquarius. And this was a cosmic shift, and they were happening within the same, I believe within the same week, or at least within the same house. It was all happening while we were in the house of Pisces. We were in that season. So I remember speaking about this, and I said it. I said, this is going to be I was like rubbing my hands like this, like, ooh, this is going to be a Saturn. Like, I saw the visual I saw was a popo, like boom, 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 knocking down, busting through and busting and exposing and lighting the flashlight on everybody that said they're spiritual. Everybody that says they're doing their soul work. It's like highlighting and saying, whoop, 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 nope, checks and balance. No, you not. Whoop, whoop, checks and balance. Oh, let me see your ID. Oh, okay. Let me see your spiritual ID. Okay, you can go. You can go. Oh, no, 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 not you. And this is energetically happening. So you can't show up on the outside and say, oh yeah, but I'm spiritual. Look at all the spiritual stuff I do. Look at my spiritual raiments. Saturn doesn't care about that. Energy doesn't care about that. And Saturn is the energy body that highlights that. While we are in the principal house, while Saturn is in the principal house, was in the spiritual house, is in the spiritual house, and it's breaking down all types of things, all types of exposure. This is why you're seeing all types of exposure happening. It is being highlighted right now, but let's not kid ourselves. It started last year. Things were really coming up last year, March. Some in minor ways, some in more major ways, but it was already happening. This is why I said some of us that are getting the shakedown this year, this is not new to you. You were shown some things last year, March, through Pluto's revelation, through Pluto's transformation revelation, death to rebirth, and through Saturn's shakedown, through Saturn's authority, whoop, whoop, checks and balance, checkpoint. It's like when you're going through the airport and you get to the checkpoint, Saturn is that checkpoint, and it will check you based on your energy. You are the one checking you. Let's be clear. You are being checked by your deeds, by what you have done and what you have not done. And Saturn is the one that's like, boop, boop, highlighting, boom, boom, boom. Let me see your spiritual ID. Let me see your ID. Oh, you say you the chosen? Let me see. Right? So there's a lot of us that are witnessing this, and when I say separate the sheep from the goat, this is happening right now. This is the energy that is happening as we are entering into 5D, as we are in 5D. And a lot of people are waking up to 5D, but they're thinking they can just jump in 5D. It doesn't work like that. You have to expand your consciousness so that you can enter into the fifth dimension of your world within this world. Right? There's not a new earth to jump into, like, oh, I see 5D over there, let me get over there. It doesn't work like that. You have to unlock your own 5D consciousness in order to merge with the collective 5D consciousness. All right, so for those of you who think you're just going to wake up to some information, you're going to read some books, that is the shadow of the Aquarian age, is thinking you're just going to collect information and enter to this new earth. The Aquarian age is the age that is being used to help us enter into 5D, because it is the age of the knowing. It is time for you to go to the book of life within you and know that you know that you know. By doing your soul work. How do you read that book? You do the soul work. Some of you are concealed and veiled from your book of life because you know not yourself. This is why the proverb is said to know thyself. It is really important to know thyself. Existing in the knowing is knowing thyself. And when you know, you unfold certain things, you break certain paradigms. And the more you remove the soot off of your soul, the more you unlock the codes in your soul. And then you have a DNA activation, which does what? Allows you to read the script in your DNA. Because your DNA is the script, the words that are in the flesh. Right? Your flesh makes the blood. You are of flesh because you are of blood. And so the word is in the blood, meaning the code, your God encryption is in the blood. Deoxyribonucleic acid, which means, if you look up the etymology, it means Lord, God, Lord, fire in the center of my being. That means in your very center, the words are there, right? That's your God encryption. So I digress. I say that to say this, that everything that you need is there within you. The more you unlock, the more you expose and reveal, the more you step in to the 5D reality, the more you expand, right? And it's going to feel like contractions, as I've said before. As you go through it, it's going to be like labor pains and contractions. But then you just need to breathe and expand. Expand into your future. This is what Aquarius is about. It's asking you to be fixed on the vision of the future. The future of what? Humanitarianism. The future of innovation. The future that brings us into the next level of ourselves. The water bearer, the comforter has come. This is the comforter. Now you know, right? Knowing is half the battle. So now what are you doing with that? And so this time right now, Saturn is helping us out, believe it or not. We're getting caught up in the rapture so it can help you out. Well, those who are getting caught up in the rapture, so it can help you out, so you can see, to separate the sheep from the goat. Know who you're following. Know who you are listening to. Know yourself if you are truly spiritual. If you are truly a spiritual being, or are you being spiritual? A lot of people right now are waking up, and that's a beautiful thing. But don't get trapped at just one level of being spiritual. It is to get to the degree of becoming, be evolve, become a spiritual being. And that means I am a spiritual being. There's a difference. I'm not being spiritual. I am a spiritual being. There's a big difference. So I highlight that to show us that all of this is happening to separate the sheep from the goat. So now with that said, what does that look like? I'm gonna explain to you now the 3 levels of chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. A lot of us are not knowing that. So a lot of us are throwing that around too. My chosen few. And I love this. There's this girl, I can't remember her name. I love her because she's always like, tap the F in. And she's like, don't play with my chosen ones. And I love that. And the thing that I want to say to that, not really to her, but people who watch that will misconstrue that. I don't think she is. I think she knows what she's saying. And I receive it in the manner of which I am a chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. Those are the true chosen ones, right? But then you have those who feel that they're chosen just because they're doing things a little bit different, and because they became aware of 5D and they're not quite there yet. They may still be in ideal time reality or real time reality. They have not yet attained true time reality. So you're not at the level of chosen of the chosen few. Again, I'm not downgrading. I'm simply highlighting what is what so you can know the difference. Don't get it twisted. All the chosen few are not the same. And this is what's being sifted out. And as I explained earlier, I was saying that it's like you have 3 tiers. And I'm going to explain it to you in this way. You have the chosen few. That's the first tier. And then it's like what's happening is they're being sifted out. That's what I've been saying. And I noticed this since last year, because I used to always say chosen few. But last year, as I started to realize this in my lives and in my videos, I would always now say, I'm speaking to the chosen of the chosen few, because there is a difference. We are being separated. All 5D is not 5D. All spiritual people are not spiritual people at a true time reality level, right? There's tiers and there's levels to this ish. So what's happening, as I saw, is we're out last year. I said, ooh, we being sifted out. I'm sitting beside spiritual people and I'm realizing, ooh, you're tethered to some idealism. You're tethered to, you have some ego attachments. You're not truly 5D. Right? You just entered the circumference of 5D. You just entered that. You have not fully dived in and become one with the 5D experience. You still got some 3D shadows to work off of you. Right? So what I saw was they're shifting. They're sifting. See? We're shifting. We're sifting to shift. We're sifting as we're shifting. It's something that is simultaneously happening. So don't think that because you just hear someone talking about 5D means they're already there. They may be just at the first level. So they're sifted out. That's the chosen few. We're all chosen. They're being sifted out. And then what falls into that container, now you have the chosen of the chosen few. And then they're being sifted out. And then you have at the third tier, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. This is the chosen few to the third degree, right? Your third degree chosen few. That's how I look at them. Chosen few to the third power, or I would say chosen few times 3. But this is the real chosen of the chosen of the chosen few at a third level, right? And this is where the true time reality exists, right? So this is true time reality within 5D. The chosen few at the first degree is ideal time reality within the 5 degree. The chosen of the chosen few at the second degree is real-time reality within the 5th dimension, within 5D. And the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few at the third degree is true time reality within 5D. So there are 3 levels of this. Let's understand, overstand, and understand this. And so we got to know, so we know who we're listening to. There are some people that you're doing spiritual work with that you have realized, especially between the last year, from last year to right now, when Saturn entered into Pisces, a lot of us got the shakedown, especially if you got it like around, I want to say like around November, December of 2022. It really began around November, December of 2022, leading into 2023, preparing us for when Saturn enters into Pisces. And when it did, you saw it. You either saw it clearly, or you may have just been one of those that just received the shakedown as well in March of 2023. And all through 2023, you may have seen these differences, the shakedown, the sifting. And don't knock it, just recognize it so that you know where you are. So you know where to place yourself, right? And so this is something that I realized I really had to speak on, because people are not seeing that everybody ain't the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. Know who you talking to. When I talk to certain people, I have to recognize in myself, oh, okay, this is not a chosen of the chosen of the chosen. This is not a third degree chosen. Okay, I'm speaking to a first degree chosen. Accept where they are. You are in ideal reality time. Ideal time reality. You have not yet dropped certain things. Speaking of drop, let me go ahead and explain this difference. This is also what makes a difference, because remember I said it's the more you release, the more you unfold and release in your soul, the more you get the key and open to the next level. So here's the thing, at first level, this is a difference. They're just putting on spirituality. Those are the ones that's just gathering the spiritual information. Again, nothing wrong with it. You got to start somewhere, right? You're getting the information. So you're gathering and you got this spiritual information and you're feeling called to do something different. And so you start to put on the spiritual raiment, the spiritual makeup. This is ideal time. So remember, we're putting on our makeup, spiritual clothes, spiritual jewelry, doing spiritual things, but we are not excavating the soul at first degree. This is the difference. First degree chosen people are not removing anything from their soul. They're simply putting on spiritual attire. Second degree is they start to remove some things. Second degree is where they're starting to work on some things. They realize there are some things that we need to work on. There's some things that we need to get rid of. However, they're choosy. They pick and choose what's convenient and comfortable for them to work on. There are the real things that they're not touching. They're dancing around, right? The thing that your soul, your spirit has come here to have its soul unfoldment in, the very thing that you have come here to do. A lot of them are skipping around that, but they feel as they're doing their spiritual work because they're getting rid of all this other stuff. They're getting rid of the fluff, the ripples and the fluff. Right? So they're doing their part in the sense of they're getting rid of some stuff. This is at second degree. So it's not that they're not getting rid of some stuff. They're getting rid of some stuff and they're putting on the attire, the spiritual attire. Right? And some of them are utilizing some of the spiritual tools to their advantage in working on what is convenient for them. So they use the tools when it works for them. But when they're supposed to really use it, they tend to avoid it, deny it, dance around it, cover up with it. To show an example, these are the money people. This is what I was being shown. These are the spiritual people that are just money, 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 and they are in real-time reality. So they know that these spiritual principles are true. They're working some of them, but to their advantage and to their convenience. And so personal attachments that they may have may be to money, to business. Business and money comes first. So I find that these are the spiritual people that utilize the spiritual avenue as a commodity. And they believe in, as I do, your gifts and your passions make room for you. And they do. But they somehow put that first. They don't put it behind them, and they don't have enough faith to put it behind them to be in true time reality, because they're still attached to the physical and some things in the ideal time reality. So they don't know how to put that behind them. So they go through, and these are the ones that are really fooling people, right? The ideal time reality people, maybe not so much. The ones that are being used to really fool and guide people are the real time reality, because they think they real, right? They're in real time, so they think they got it. So, and they got a lot of people fooled, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. They may be doing it unconsciously, but either way, it's real time reality. And so they're the ones that are leading these big spiritual retreats, these big, when you see it everywhere, and they're the ones charging $1,500, but let me help you change your life. They're the ones tapping into the spiritual realm and utilizing it, although they may still be working on themselves, right? Of course, the ideal time reality are really the ideal time people that are capitalizing on this event for money, right? I don't even got to speak about it, because if they're in ideal time reality, you already know they're only in it for the money. Those are the people that are truly capitalizing on the spiritual avenue and the spiritual realm to make something of themselves. And if they happen to learn something more and evolve to the next timeline reality, then so be it. But that's where they are. In real-time reality, this is where they are working on some things, but they're not working on the things that they need to be. And they may be stuck and capped there, right? So spirit, third degree, chosen of the chosen few, the difference with them is they are working. They are the ones constantly digging in and excavating their soul, doing the shadow work. They're digging. They're in the mines of their soul. They are mining their soul business. Of course, I'm one of them. That's why I could tell you, right? It takes one to know one. Mining your soul business, digging it out, and they utilize every day to look for anything, any falsities that they can dig up. They don't look to get comfortable in spirit. They know that spirit is here to do the work. I'm here to unfold my soul. This is a soul unfolding journey. So every day I'm looking for something to dig up, never getting comfortable in one space, never getting comfortable with just spirituality, but utilizing it. So the difference with them is they're constantly digging up the things, whether they like it or not. It's not just things that they're comfortable with. Everything that comes to them and through them and happens to them is an experience and an opportunity to dig it up, investigate it, excavate what needs to be excavated, and lighten their soul load that much more. And so they're not putting on spiritual attire, right? They're using the spiritual tools. And in that case, because they're utilizing the spiritual tools to dig and dig, then they too are also automatically adorned in their spiritual riches, in their spiritual jewelry and things like that. The copper, they are adorned, and you see royalty on them. Like some people tell me, they just see it. And I don't wear riches. I don't chase riches. But you can see the spiritual wealth. It is already adorned on me. I don't put on spirituality, right? That's why I said I'm not being spiritual. I am a spiritual being. And that is the difference. At third degree, you will know, those who are like myself, you will know that you are one of the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few, that through the sifting, you've been sifted out to the third degree. And so everyone goes through these levels. No man is exempt. I too have went through each level. It's not like I jumped in at third degree, but it's easier for me to attain third degree because of the type of person I am, right? Some people may have said that back in the past I was pessimistic because when I look in the mirror of life, I look for my ugly. I already know I'm beautiful, so I don't look in the mirror to be like, ooh, that's beautiful. Ooh, that's beautiful. I already know. So when I look in the mirror, I look for the ugly. And some people think that's pessimistic because they think you're always looking for the negative. No, I am looking for what does not serve my highest good. And I'm not going to find it if every time I look, I see something beautiful that makes me feel nice and comfortable. And, ooh, I'm a spiritual being. Oh, I'm so spiritual. I'm pretty. Right? A true light warrior is the one that does the work. Right? So I say all that to say this. If you're not doing all of this, if you're not digging up your ugly skeletons in the closet, if you're not willing to look in the mirror of life and say, you sure is ugly. If you're not willing to do that, you're not third degree material. Holla at me when you get to third degree material. Put in the comments third degree if you know you are third degree. You know how people be like, oh, third degree Mason. They're not. This ain't no secret society. This is the elites. This is the spiritual elites. The elite of the elite of the elite. The third degree elite. Right? Mastery. These are those who work on self-mastery. Not mastery to master others. Self-mastery. Third degree. And these are the true light warriors. So when people walking around talking about I'm a light warrior, if you're not a third degree chosen, you're not a light warrior. And I'm saying this so that you know who you really are and look on the scale and look at where you really are. Be honest with yourself. And so you know not only where you are, but where others are. This is why I said know who you're following. Right? If you're not a light warrior. If you're not doing third degree work, you're not a light warrior. You are a light worker. Keep working. Keep working. And that's how you got to look at these people. Oh, you got a light warrior. I can't follow you. You're a light worker. You got more work to do, as we all do. As a light warrior, we are working as well. But we're working to a degree, to a level and at a degree that is of a light warrior. We are the ones who can pave the way, who can be lighthouses, who are the pioneers. These are the pioneers of 5D, because it is those of us who have expanded our consciousness into 5D first that has created the collective consciousness of 5D to be where it is right now. It is those that are in third degree level that have been doing the work for the past 4 years and beyond, because some have really been working on it beyond that. But really during the Great Awakening of 2020, who has really signed up in a true way to elevate and evolve and continue to have a soul ascension into the next timeline and the next timeline. They are timeline jumping. We are timeline jumping, quantum leaping and timeline jumping into the next. And we are shifting the collective timeline. More of us that shift the individual timeline, we collectively shift a timeline. So it is those of us that are pioneers, that have done the soul work, that are helping to even open the light and activate the light grid that much more, so that others can see and identify the light grid and choose to infuse with the light themselves, lest they get fried on the grid. And a lot of people are getting fried right now. A lot more people are getting fried because the light grid is becoming more and more activated, more and more evolved. And I must say this, the light grid is not one-dimensional, right? There are levels. There are dimensions of this grid. It's not just this one grid. So understand, overstand, and understand, right? We are getting caught up in the rapture. As this rain picks up, I'm hearing the song echo in my head again. Caught up in the rapture of you. So I'm rooting Saturn on, and to be like, go Saturn, go for the next 2 years. Keep shaking them down. Since last year, I've been applauding, waiting on it to come on stage. Come on, Saturn. Come on stage. And now it's here. And I'm like, yeah, Saturn, keep tearing them down. Keep showing these ugly truths. Right? If they get hurt, oh well, you know, they'll learn from their hurt. Put a Band-Aid on it. Keep going. Because that hurt, that contraction is going to expand if you choose to expand. You're either going to evolve or devolve. But it's your choice. Free will beings, we have a choice. So with that said, that is my take on Saturn, the rapture of Saturn's exposure of the superficial spiritual, and including the 3 stages of The chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. Where my 3D at? Comment, I'm 3D. You could comment 2D. Comment what you know. Let's see who's gonna be true. Comment what you know you are really at. If you just waking up, hey, I'm 1 degree. I'm here. Right? Welcome and keep working. So with that said, love you all. As usual, please like, subscribe, and share. Comment if you dare. Please let me know. Comment, how do you feel about this Saturn energy? How do you feel about this? Are you seeing the spiritual superficials? Are you seeing them, Saturn, separate the sheep from the goat? And we're really it's being highlighted as we light up on this light grid, entering into 5D. It's a true 5D experience. So welcome aboard to the 5D experience. With that, I love, love, love you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart and shine your light from the inside out. Peace, love, and light.